Hello, everybody. We are right on time today, right at 5 o'clock. Thanks for joining me. Another virtual dinner party. Always great to see everybody here. We'll do the introduction, and then we'll say hi to everybody. Today's dinner, we're going to be doing a Japanese recipe, kind of appetizer, a little bit of snack recipe, and it's like a Japanese pancake, cabbage pancake, okonomiyaki. Super easy to make. If you want to follow along, you can check out. There's the ingredients and the in the description. If you're watching this later in the recording, all of the ingredients are down below, and also all the instructions on how to follow along and make this. So thanks for joining, everybody. Wednesday midweek. This is perfect snack we're having it for dinner, but it's a great snack. Mike's here. Hey, Mike. Jason's watching. This is one of Jason's favorite dishes to cook, and we tried this out about a week or so ago, and we got all the ingredients to buy it again. Christine's here. Hey, Christine. Hey, Nadia. Stella doesn't watch anymore. She's outside having fun in the sun. And son of a pizza man, how's it going? Welcome. So this one's easy. Basically, main ingredient is cabbage. So you're going to want to grab a cabbage. For this recipe, it calls for about three cups. Doesn't have to be precise. It's going to look like, as we cut this up, it's going to look like a lot of cabbage, but it's actually not a ton. So we're going to use about half of this. This is a fairly large head of cabbage. We'll use half. And yeah, good catch, new apron. Thanks, Christine. You caught that. And Kelsey's here. Hey, Kelsey. Happy Wednesday. So cabbage, main ingredient, and then also you can use. We want to add some chives to this. You don't want to use onions because it doesn't cook for very long, and if you use like regular onions, they're not going to cook enough, and it's going to be really strong. So it does call for chives. I couldn't get any chives at the supermarket today. They didn't have any, but I do actually have some freeze-dried ones, and these will be a good substitute. So these are in the cupboard. They're like the little tiny chives. So this will work just as well. And then as in it as well is we're going to add a cup of, these are panko breadcrumbs. And if you haven't ever had these before, they're like a Japanese breadcrumb. And they are really good, really crunchy. It's like just a white breadcrumb. And that's it. So if you've had Japanese before, like anything breaded, it's always done with panko. This is also good with, basically for breading anything, because it's nice and crunchy and crispy. And light, not a heavy breadcrumb. That's going to go in the mix as well. And other than that, we're going to put a tiny bit of pepper, and also to bind it all together, we'll use eggs. So we've got, the recipe calls for four eggs. You might have to adjust this and add another egg if the eggs are, these are a little, we'll see when we get mixed. These are they're not, they say they're large, but they're not like giant eggs. So we might have to add one more, but calls for 4. So we'll get everything mixed up, and then we can look at the mixture. We're basically this one is like super simple. All the ingredients basically get thrown in a bowl, mixed up, and then we're gonna fry them up. We'll show you that. Okay, let's get started. So the easiest way. Oh, my mom's here. Hey, mom. And so new apron. Yeah, everybody's noticed it. The eagle eyes would have noticed this in the past one. I've had it on for a couple times, but maybe didn't notice. And cabbage is, yes, we love cabbage too. I should do it one time, is get a red cabbage and do braised red cabbage. I love it. I could eat cabbage almost every day. And my mom's here, so say hi to my mom, everybody. Hi, mom. She's watching. So best way we'll cut up the, sorry, I'm reading and talking at the same time here. So Lisa's here. Hey, Lisa, welcome. Yeah, I don't know if Norm's coming on today or not, but welcome. Cabbage, and it's fastest and easiest to cut it up is with the mandolin, so we'll use that. So let's go and start cutting that up. Let's move my cutting board here so you can actually see it. So we're gonna use about half of this cabbage, and the rest we'll save. So just cut in half. And this one, we'll just wrap it up. And we'll save that in the fridge for our next batch, or make something else with it. Cabbage will last quite a while in the fridge. as long as it's wrapped up nice. You do want to remove the bit of the stem, not all of it, because we're going to be cutting this pretty small, but you do want to remove the stem, hard, firm stem part of it. All right. And then just peel off if there's any kind of outside leaves that are a bit brown sometimes on cabbage, you can just peel them off and we'll use the nice insides. Oh, and Dean's here. Hey, Dean. I'll have to check out those biscuits. Yeah, I don't know. I missed the. We'll see what they make. So we'll see with the biscuits. I'm not a baker, but I still like to watch. All right. So cabbage, I usually find is when using the mandolin to kind of cut it into a bit more manageable pieces, and it's just a matter of we're going to be shredding this all up, and you'll see here in a second. You want to be careful with the mandolin. It's very sharp. And when you get to the part where your fingers get too close, we'll finish it by hand. So basically what we've done is we shredded all the cabbage up, and we'll just put that on the side into a bowl. And we'll do the other end. And what Jason said there, yeah, it's really good. So this one with toppings is really good with some mayonnaise on top, and I'll show you some garnish for that as well. You can also put like pickled ginger on top is nice. Some people put like a Worcestershire sauce. I think I said that wrong, but it's kind of. And also, if you have the seaweed, and you can put the nori pieces on there as well, chopped up. Sometimes you can buy like little nori flakes, sesame seeds on top. It's kind of really open to what you like, really. So we've got that cut up. Let's just finish. See, there's the bits. We'll cut this by hand so we don't waste anything. You know, we're just like shredding it as thin as possible, so it gives you. And then we'll mix everything together. So it goes a little bit faster to use the mandolin for everything, but chopped up and mixed up. And that's a good vacation couple's here. Hey, vacation couple. That's a good one. Dad joke. Slaw-ter. That's bad. But thanks for joining us. It's good. There we go. So nice and chopped up, mixed up. So we've got all the cabbage there. That's the main ingredient. This is probably about four and so cups, quite a bit. We're gonna have to add a bit more egg, I'm positive. And so Dean's asking, yeah, yeah, you could use the Japanese mayonnaise. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of these are the chopped chives, 2 tablespoons. The mayo for that, Dean, if you can find the Japanese mayo, it's called Kewpie mayo. It's like the brand, it's in a little bottle, and it's like in a little squeeze bottle. And if you can find that's the best one. I looked everywhere for it here, but I couldn't find any. So we're gonna use. We've actually got some. We bought some. I can show you here. We'll use this. It's actually a vegan mayonnaise. So it's basically made with soy, but it tastes really good. It's nice and sweet. So we'll use that, and I'll show you how we garnish that. So there we go. A little bit of, we'll put some cracked pepper in there. And then about a cup of breadcrumbs. These come in like resealable bags, so you don't. I know here I'll show you in the camera kind of what it looks like before I put it in. Is if you can see, you might not be able to see very well. It's like a white breadcrumb, really flaky. And we want about a cup. So this is half a cup and 1 cup. And you don't have to be super precise, but basically what the breadcrumbs is going to do when we're frying this, it's going to be nice and crispy. And it also helps to hold it together. I'm going to add a touch more breadcrumb because I had a bit of extra cabbage in there. So about a half a cup. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll mix this together, and as we get the eggs in there, if it's a bit too, as we put the eggs in and mix it, if it's a bit too wet, we'll add a few more breadcrumbs. If it's a bit too dry, I'll just toss in an extra egg, and then we'll go from there, just to see how it goes. And soy and eggs, yeah, but it's made by Christine. It's made by Hellman's. I've got breadcrumbs on the floor here. Made by Hellman, so it's actually pretty good tasting. There we go. So we'll start with four eggs. So Dean's use. And after it's mixed, we just want to mix it all together, just to get all the eggs and everything incorporated. What I find works the best is we'll just because they are kind of, it does get kind of, is just put a glove on if you have a gloves. And make sure the eggs are mixed up. And then it's just a matter of mixing this all together. So the recipe is like, it's called like kind of like a Japanese pancake, but it's not going to look like a traditional pancake batter by any means, but it's just more so the shape. So that's all mixed. And I'm going to add 1 more egg, because what the egg does is it helps, once it cooks, the egg will cook as well. And that's what firms up and holds everything together. And this is, because of so much cabbage, it's a little bit dry still. So we want to have it a little bit more moisture. So I'm going to put I'll put 1 more egg in there. So 1 more egg. So you'll have to adjust, and I'll show you after I get this mixed in, kind of what it looks like. There we go, that's better. And yeah, so Jason, yeah, we're supposed to get more thunderstorm here tonight, later. So everything's off the deck is brought in. It's bright and sunny now. So you can kind of see here, if we squeeze it together, it'll form like it forms a ball. And what we're going to be doing is it's going to be forming a patty when we get going. So we want to kind of let this sit for about 10 minutes, and that will let it kind of all come together, and the liquid and from the eggs, it just kind of seems to it kind of breaks down the cabbage a little, like the cabbage kind of lets off a bit of moisture, and it just kind of seems to hold together a little bit better when you let it sit for about 10 minutes. So we'll do that, and we'll have a chat as we let this sit. And at the meantime is what we'll do is heat up our pan. So I've got the cast iron pan on the skillet here, and we're going to want to let's heat that up to medium heat. So kind of medium low. So there we go. And yeah, so we've got a nice. We do have a storm watch coming, so we'll maybe after the live stream we'll set up is do a time, like Jason said, a time lapse of the storm. We actually had one from the other night. It got really dark, but there wasn't any real lightning or anything like that. So, but lots of damage. So they're saying it's going to be a bad one tonight too. We seem to luck out in the city that it doesn't hit us as hard as some other places up in the north, just outside the city. So with this we've got the cast iron skillet heating up, and we're on top of it we're going to brush it with a little bit of olive oil. And after we get the patties going, we're going to be brushing the patties a little bit or the pancakes with the olive oil as well. And so with olive oil. Perfect. So what's everybody having for dinner tonight? Oh, we've got welcome, Kate. Kate the Warrior, welcome. I think it's your first time here. So I'm gonna get some water. So I've got the normal water in a coffee mug. What's everybody else drinking? And what's everybody having for dinner? And you can almost when you mix this up now, you can actually kind of hear it. It's not as kind of crunchy taste. I guess crunchy tasting would be the crunchy sounding would be because the breadcrumbs start to absorb some of the egg. So it all just comes together. So once it sits for about 10 minutes, then it'll be ready to go. Oh, that sounds good. Chickpeas, tacos with chickpeas with pickled carrots. Homemade pickled carrots sounds really good. Save some of those for me. We had tacos last night, Kelsey. We did corn and we had some red kidney beans. So red kidney bean and corn tacos with fresh pico de gallo. And we had, I made like an avocado yogurt for on top. So that was really good. And yeah, we could always, Kelsey, if you feel like getting out, you could always just drop a couple off at the front door. We'll try them. But that sounds really good. Has anybody that's watching this, I know Jason obviously has had this, but has anybody else had this dish before at all? It's a pretty common Japanese recipe, but some people have probably seen it maybe on the menu and not knowing what it necessarily was and haven't tried it. So just let me know if you've tried that. I think everybody has probably had Japanese and sushi, but this is kind of a little bit different. Just turn the pan down a little bit. And Lisa's, it's taco. Oh yeah, it is. Well, it's not Taco Tuesday, but this sounds good too. Blackened Cajun shrimp tacos. That sounds really good. I could eat tacos every day. Every time we order online ordering from the grocery store, I always order tortillas. I should really learn how to make them. And so Kelsey, so a bowl of cereal for Lisa. Yeah. Nothing wrong with breakfast for dinner. Nothing wrong with breakfast for dinner. And you've had Okonomiyaki, you've had it. Okay, Lisa's had it. Kelsey hasn't tried it yet, so Kelsey will try it. Yeah. So for the mayonnaise, let's get it right. Well, the mayonnaise is gonna be like a garnish on top. And if you ever look at the recipes online, and if you see it come, like if you order it from a restaurant, it's gonna come with the mayonnaise kind of drizzled on top, and you're gonna go, how the heck did they do that? And well, usually they have if it's the Kewpie mayonnaise that you have, the little bottle has a little squirt. You can put it in a squirt bottle, but if you don't have a little squeeze bottle, I'll show you here. We can use a plastic Ziploc. Okay, so we'll show you that, and then once that's in there, we'll be able to start cooking. So with your mayonnaise, what you want to do is put a couple of spoonfuls into the bag. And so we've got the mayonnaise into the bag. You want to squeeze out as much of the air you can, and then you zip it up. And then when it's ready to go, is what we'll do is we'll cut the little end off, and then we'll show you how we drizzle that over at the end. So just kind of another way to garnish it, instead of putting a big, a big blob of mayonnaise on there. Just makes it look a little bit better. So if you're cooking this for company, if you're having dinner, you can make it fancy and show them how to make it fancy.
Can I say hi?
Yeah, Jason wants to say hi. Sure, he comes on. He doesn't like coming on the channel.
I have quarantine hair. It's been like February, March, April, May, June since I've had a haircut.
Yeah, we all need haircuts still. And yeah, so Dean, try it out. Super easy, as you saw. It takes like 5 minutes to make it. It's simple. Now, it's easy to cook too. Like this recipe, you can't screw it up. Impossible. And so Christine, do I wash the Ziploc? No, I don't. If it's something like that's easy, like not wet, like, so for example, the cabbage that I've put in the Ziploc, I'll reuse this because it's a bit heavier duty plastic to use. But I find if you use those little Ziploc bags, and once you put something wet in there, it just never doesn't wash the same properly. So yeah, I don't. Those little ones, I don't. I find the plastic's kind of too thin. They just don't wash properly. And especially if you're putting stuff in there like that has oil in it, like oil based, it just never seems to wash properly. So for the most part, I use the bags a little bit, but we have, like, for leftovers and stuff, like we'll use actual reusable packages. So we use that more often than Ziploc stuff. So. Oh, thanks, Mom. That's nice. And I do have, Dean, we bought clippers. We just haven't got to the point of being courageous enough to actually cut our own hair. So you might see me one week with no hair at all, and that's because we've had the clipper incidents. Oh, there we go. So Kelsey's got a good idea. Stasher bags. I'll have to check those out. And maybe, actually, that's a good point. So Jason's going to go as mullet, and Lisa. Maybe, actually, after all this, the mullets will come back. Hard to say. All right, let's cook. Let's get these cooked. Gonna give them a mix here, and we'll show you the. So on the frying pan, we want a little bit of brush it with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm just going to turn that up a little bit because it's been cool. And for these, we want to kind of get about a half. You can make them different sizes. But what I find, maybe I want to say about a half a cup-ish. You want to shape it into like a patty. And then just on the grill. So I'll cook one. And we'll give it a taste. We'll get it all on the plate and give it a try so you can kind of see how it goes there. Now what you want to kind of do is you almost have to shape it a little bit just to make sure it holds its shape. Like so. And then give it kind of a drizzle and a brush of olive oil on the side. That's what's going to get it all kind of nice and crispy. So the outside's going to be crispy and like colored, caramelized, and then the inside will be nice and cooked cabbage. So it takes about, we're going to do probably 3 or 4 minutes on each side. And you can make these really any size you want. We've made them like small individual kind of appetizer sized, and also too, I've also made them where they take up the entire pan, a little bit thicker. It takes a bit longer to cook, but you could actually do a whole one up, and when you put it on to serve it on a plate, you would almost cut it up like a pizza into wedges. So sometimes when you actually go to a Japanese restaurant, you'll get a bigger sized one, and it'll be like cut into wedges. Oh, hey, Rudy, there we go. Welcome. Osaka style okonomiyaki. Oh, it's interesting to see what's in that. I'd like to know. And Rudy, I used to work with Rudy, like, this is gonna date ourselves, both of us, at the hotel. And I believe Rudy probably still there. I don't know if you're back to work yet, but I believe you're still work there. And we worked in the kitchen together. That's many, many years ago. Oh yeah, Dean, so it's got the little bit there. It still gets hot, so you have to be careful. And that's gonna need a second. I could almost, you know what, put another egg in this just to hold it together a bit more, but let's, we'll cook this. Let's just see here. Because sometimes when you flip the first one, it won't, if it doesn't hold together, you need a bit more egg in there. But looks okay, actually. We'll have to just flip it carefully. And don't be, cabbage pizza, don't be scared, Christine. It's okay. Yeah, I gotta put a bit more egg, so hold on. Let's, it's always good when stuff doesn't, excuse me, doesn't always work in live. Then you know how to fix stuff when you're making it at home. So let's put one more egg in there. Actually, 2. There we go. So let's do one more. Then you'll know what it's actually. There we go. The last time I made these, I made them actually the whole pan. So this one's a little bit smaller, but there we go. And we will just kind of shape it. And it's about, I would say, a ½ inch thick. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but we want it to be the shape there. There we go. This one's gonna hold together. Tuck in the sides. There. Oh. So there we go. So Rudy, yeah, so that's good. Back on July 4th after the long weekend. That's good. Everybody's been off, so it's nice to see that people are getting back to work. Let's just hope the business picks up for everybody and keeps working. All right. Oh, there we go. So you can see it on the grill sticking together a lot better. Extra egg. Let's see if I missed any of your questions here. Lots of cabbage. So everybody seems to like cabbage. That's good. All right. There we go. And we want to brush the other side. Brush it with some olive oil as well. So a nice color on it. And another couple minutes on the other side, and then we'll garnish it up and we will try this. So as that cooks, I'll show you the here. I'll show you the Ziploc bag. So we've got the end. I don't have to zoom in. I just want to cut off the little end piece. And then we'll be able to squeeze that onto our as a garnish. And so we're going to garnish it with we're going to do the mayonnaise. And I've also still got a little bit of the chili oil left, which gives it a nice little bite. You could use you could try it with the sriracha as well. I know Dean is making he was making sriracha last week on Christine's channel. The sriracha would be good on here as well to try. And like I said from before, any kind of topping you want, really. Pickled ginger, the nori, sesame seeds. You could even have even a protein on there too if you wanted to, have this as this, the side as the vegetable. Why not? Let's here we go. Let's put this on a plate and we'll get it garnished. So you can see it comes right off. Now I'm just going to move this because we're smoking a little bit here. I'll just put that under the vent. So we don't set off the fire alarm, hopefully. Okay, let me just clean this up and then we'll get it garnished and we'll give it a taste. There we go. So mayonnaise. So all you want the corners cut out. It'll squeeze the rest of the air out as you do it, and we'll do a little bit of a zigzag on there. And I do like this. This chili oil. I still have to do a video on how this is made, but I will. And this is going to give it a nice. You won't need much, but just a nice little bite on there, which is nice with the cabbage. Here we go. And that's I know, Dean. I still have so much. I made too much last time, so I've still got a lot. I will make a video. You'll watch it and you'll go like, "This it's so simple. I could have just done that anyways." So here, let's give this a try. Smells good. If you like cabbage, if you don't like cabbage, you're not gonna like these. But here we'll show it little bite there. Oh, takes a second. It's so good. It's like as you saw, it's such a simple dish. Just by itself, which took us half an hour to make, from start to finish, and I still have to make some more, but as you can see, for dinner or like a snack, super easy. You could add if you're wanting to add other vegetables to this. I'm gonna probably do this whole thing as I'm talking here. It would be nice if you wanted to, you could put a little bit of shredded carrot in there as well. You wouldn't want too, like, because the carrots obviously take a bit longer to cook normally. So you'd want to make sure they're cut up nice and small to add it into that, like shredded. That would be good. And so here's some good tips. Yeah. So Rudy adds a, sorry, I just can't see all the comment because it's oh, so yeah, a slice of some meat on there. So pork or a couple of prawns would be really nice. If you had like a grilled barbecue prawns would be really good on this. And a fried egg on top for sure. That'd be good. So lots of options on this little simple kind of base, base dish. And that's it. So if anybody has any questions, be sure to, before we sign off, you can always leave them back. If you're watching this again and trying to make it, you can leave them back in the description. And yeah, that's it. We're going to eat. I'm going to make this will probably make about, oh geez, 6 more probably of this. So I'm going to go make all these and eat them all. This is the kind of thing that won't last. You want to make it and eat it the same day. You don't want to leave it in the fridge. So you want to make sure you cook it all up. If you do have too much, cook it all, and then you can cool it off and put it into the fridge, and you could have it cold in the morning if you wanted to have that. Always kind of a good snack for lunch or something like that. You just take it out of the fridge. You could also reheat it a little bit in the oven if you wanted to kind of take the coolness off, but don't leave it. It's not really going to hold uncooked in the freezer, or sorry, in the fridge that long. So there we go, okonomiyaki. Hopefully you found this one useful. Another quick one. We're gonna meet before all the storm starts here. So thanks again for joining me on another virtual dinner party. We've had new guests. Rudy, thanks for coming by the first time. Glad you enjoyed it. And that's it. Don't forget to wash your hands. And before you leave, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It's always appreciated when everybody comes and joins us on the live stream. It's kind of fun to talk to everybody. And I know everybody's getting out more, but it's nice that you spend your time and join me for an hour, 3 days a week, ideally. And that's it. So thanks so much. And if you could make sure before you, like I said, hit the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I think everybody that's watching this live is subscribed. But also too, if you could share it to one person that you think might find it useful, it always would help me out as well. So that's it. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you on Friday. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.